We haven't taken a scientific poll, but it seems there's a high percentage of RVers who still smoke. Perhaps part of the motivation for RVing is the freedom not to worry about the no smoking room signs in hotels when traveling. There's also a stronger independent I'll do what I want to do attitude among RVers than many other groups. Most smokers would probably agree, however, that smoking isn't good for you. Even at its best, it has an effect on breathing, and many would like to quit. Don't even mention the high cost of smoking brought on by government taxes. Until recently, there wasn't much alternative rather than quitting altogether. But the idea of vaping is a very fast-growing concept that has helped many people quit or at least cut down. Vaping stores are growing around the country, and we were lucky enough to be visited by the manager of a nearby vaping store to show and tell us what vaping is all about.
This is RV Dream New Radio. We're at Pillar Point RV Park in Half Moon Bay, California. And we have a special guest for you today. Paul Salazar is the manager of It Is Vapor in Redwood City. Tell people what that is. What is It Is Vapor?
We are specifically just an e-cigarette store focusing on electronic cigarette devices to help people quit smoking. I personally have quit smoking by switching to vapor, as well as all of the people that have worked there.
And it's very cool. You're not very far from Pillar Point. And you can go over there and you have all the different devices. You have several different devices you can use and all the juices and everything else, right?
We do, absolutely.
So for people out there, everybody's kind of heard about vapor. Vaping it's called, right?
Yes.
And that device that you have in your hand, what is that device called?
This one's the Itaste Mini. It's a variable voltage, variable wattage device, so it can customize your vaping experience by pressing the buttons. Here you have your hit count, and it's set for P, which is on wattage right now.
Okay, let's get real basic here.
Okay.
This part right here.
This is your clearamizer. This is where your juice is going to go.
Okay, can you unscrew that so they know what that is? So that's clearamizer, it's called.
A clearamizer, right?
And you pour juice in there.
Yes.
And that you have 100 different kinds of flavors. We just gave Netta vanilla.
We did, yes.
And I am enjoying the tobacco flavored. And that juice, you pour that in there, and it goes out.
Right. And this particular one, I'll just show you the basics here. This one, the juice just gets poured right down the side here. The center hole there is your airway. Here we have your heating element. And just unscrew that so you can see it.
So what happens is you have the battery heats that up.
Right. That heats up the coil on the inside.
Right.
To then vaporize the juice.
Right.
And so when you put it all...
So it heats it up and then it turns into vapor, just like you would if you're on the stove and you're heating up water.
Water, exactly. And the key ingredients in the e-juice is going to be propylene glycol, which is in asthma inhalers, vegetable glycerin, which is a vegetable byproduct, food-grade flavoring, as well as nicotine.
Okay, so you mentioned that a while ago, and we said, oh, you mean antifreeze? Is that what you're talking about?
There's different levels of propylene glycol. Propylene glycol can also be found in coffee, Starbucks flavorings. It's in shampoo. There's different levels. There's safe levels. There's toxic levels. Only used in your e-cig devices is the safe level of propylene glycol.
Right, and they've run a lot of tests on this stuff and not found any negative effects from it.
They have not. No.
So that's the thing that you keep hearing out there, and politicians in particular go, are we taxing this enough? But the fact of the matter is, nothing negative has come from this at all.
No, and most of the government is getting backlash from the tobacco industry because the tobacco industry is not getting their hand in the electronic cigarette business.
Right, exactly.
And so they're losing money, and in turn, state taxes aren't getting paid for those higher cigarette prices.
Right. So, but it is a safe liquid that you're putting in there.
Yes. Safe to vape. You wouldn't want to consume it though, so don't drink it.
Oh, right.
So that's what you wouldn't want to do.
Right. And then, then the other part of this is the battery.
The battery. So right here, this particular battery is a 8-hour battery, referred to as a pass-through. I can charge it and use it at the same time, so I'll never be out of a battery if it should start to die on me. But this particular battery has on the button, if I press it there, you'll see it's green. Has 3 different color levels: green, yellow, and red. Yellow's a half battery, red's pretty much charge me.
Right, so you know when to charge.
Yep.
And then, I mean, there are many details we could get into, but this is just a
Yes.
little short piece to kind of introduce all this to people.
Absolutely.
The battery, then you charge that up with a USB. It's a USB battery.
It is.
So you can plug it into your laptop.
You can, yes.
Or you have
Wall adapters.
plugs, wall adapters. So you plug it into that, and then you plug it into the wall.
Yeah, or
either
even
way.
car adapters.
Or car adapters
Yeah,
they have.
so
So you
there's
can plug it
multi-
into your cigarette lighter.
Yes, so if you're traveling, which most RVers do, you're going
Right.
to want it. If you don't have a USB in your
In
RV,
the dash, right.
then you could just get a plug adapter, plug it in, and you'll be on your way. I actually had driven to Vegas, and all my other devices were in the trunk. Couldn't get to them. Luckily, I had my pass-through. Plugged it into my USB to my car, and I was able to vape away for the rest of the trip.
The cool thing about this is, and you guys have talked about it too, it is the fact that it's a great way to stop smoking cigarettes.
Yes.
I mean, you're getting the tobacco hit, you're getting the nicotine hit, so you're not going total cold turkey when you do this.
Right. And your body's craving the nicotine. It's not craving all the other carcinogens and toxins that are in cigarettes.
And an introductory device you sell for about $45.
We have them as low as $29.
Right.
But for a pass-through device, it starts at about $4.99.
Right. And then the juice itself, you sell those for...
We sell those for as low as $5.99 for a 10 ml bottle, and that equals 10 packs of cigarettes.
10 packs of cigarettes.
Yes.
So I just found out that a carton of cigarettes costing $60 these days.
Yes.
So to have this, that will last you far longer.
Yes.
It's the price less than a carton of cigarettes.
You once you make your initial purchase, you instantly start seeing those savings. And holding 15 packs of cigarettes in a small bottle like this is a lot easier than carrying around 15 packs of cigarettes.
You also sell online.
We do, and that is at itisvapor.com. You'll find all our devices, all of our juices, any clearamizer that you would need, any chargers, car adapters. We have all of that. So anything that you should need, you
can order online and have it shipped to you any place in the United States.
Anywhere in the United States, we'll ship to.
Right. Or your store. Tell us where you have 2 stores in Redwood City.
We have 2 stores in Redwood City. We have 1749 Broadway Street in Redwood City. And then we also have 850B Main Street, which is tucked right behind a jewelry store, which is St. Regal Jewelers. We're right behind in that alleyway.
So tell us about at the store. You have happy hour?
We have happy hour 2 times a day, and it's Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is our first one. And then we have it from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And during happy hour, you get 10% off all purchases.
Right. And so when you're over there, you can sample 100 different, is that 100 different?
We are up to about 140 different flavors.
Right. So you've got all those, and we can sit around. You have a nice room there with couches and
Yes.
all that. I thought it was quite pleasant. And then you can sit around and you can say, okay, I'll try the cantaloupe.
Yes, we have menus set up, so you can look through the menus. We'll help you kind of try and figure out what flavors are going to be best for you. What do you like? Do you like a vanilla? Do you like a cantaloupe?
Right.
Do you want something a little bit more complex? We can get into those. I'm vaping Tropical Storm right now, which is a pineapple, mango, and coconut blend. So for those
Right.
people that like their pina coladas,
Right.
don't want all the alcohol, this is the way to go.
And that doesn't cost anything.
To try them?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
So you can get over there, you sit down, you sample it.
You could sample as many flavors
And then
as
you can learn more about vaping itself, because there is quite a bit to learn. Well, because everybody's confused about it, as we just saw in talking with our friend Neto over there.
Yeah.
How does this work? I mean, people don't know how it works.
Right. So what we'll do is we'll sit you down, or bring you over to the counter. We'll talk about the devices, the difference between the devices, because it can be confusing. Really, when people come in, we want people to come in and get the basics.
Right.
And then go from there.
Right. And then you can start saying, well, I would rather have this one or that one, and
right.
try the other thing, or I've noticed this or whatever.
Right. And what we do is through talking to our customers, we figure out, especially as new people, you don't know where to go, where to start.
Right.
We're going to kind of guide you in the way. How much are you smoking? That's a good start, because that'll help us identify, okay, what our recommended nicotine level would be for
Yeah, we didn't mention that. You can get a 24 is the heaviest.
24 is the
nicotine.
highest, 24 milligrams of nicotine.
Right.
And then we have, which equals to about a pack of cigarette smoker or more. We have 18 milligrams of nicotine, which is about 3/4 of a pack of cigarette smoker. And then we have 12, which is about a half pack. 6, which is about a quarter of a pack. And we have 0 as well. So people who don't want the nicotine, you can go into 0 as well.
Right.
And so we have levels to help people bring down their habit.
You got to feel like you're doing a good thing, don't you?
I actually do. It makes me feel good to see people that I've helped stop smoking that have smoked for 50 years, and they started vaping, stopped smoking the same day, and haven't turned back.
Right. Now, what a wonderful thing. You're saving people's lives by doing that, too.
Yeah.
That's really good. Okay, so itisvapor.com. And then your store, the store that you're mostly at, is the Redwood City. So
Redwood City store. I'm at 1749 Broadway Street in Redwood City, 94063. We're open 7 days a week.
So good. So great. We'll talk some more about all this, and we really appreciate you coming all the way out here to Half Moon Bay to talk to us too. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us on RV Dream New Radio.